Greetings and welcome to Flavourful Eat. Today we have an interesting topic working for February. With me on my right is Brenda Gowing.
Hi.
And on my left is Claude.
Hi.
And as you both know, they were here before. Claude is a very seasoned, legendary chef in our town. And more legendary, yes. And Brenda is a love kitchen and cooking.
Kitchen and cooking.
Oh, okay. Going with that, we have a very interesting menu. We have risotto, which is Claude doing, and Brenda is doing a stuffed acorn squash, followed by a Caprese salad and dessert.
Right.
Fruit and chocolate.
Right.
What can be better?
All right.
Better.
Can do any better than that.
Right. So we're starting off with Claude.
Yes, okay.
You're telling us a little bit about risotto and what you're doing. You've already fried your onions.
I already chopped the onion, and because it takes a little bit, so I make them soft, and I hope they are. I'm going to try one right now.
Wow.
Yeah, they are soft right now, so I'm going to start by adding the rice. Let's go.
It's arborio rice.
Yeah.
So Claude is making enough for 2 people because we thought the month of February, what better than to celebrate Valentine.
So you stir the bowl for about less than 1 minute to get the high.
Yes,
I would like to have it high.
yes.
Okay. So the rice get a little brown.
So that way also the rice stays separated instead of sticking when you're adding your...
And you have to stir all the time, so you have to be prepared.
You have to have some muscle.
Yeah,
be
some
able to
muscle.
use your hand.
Yeah, that's the art of risotto.
Okay, is it very high or?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
the
okay.
highest.
Yeah, okay.
You want it medium?
No, maybe. You tell me about 1 minute, something like that. Should be okay to get the rice a little brown.
So,
Make sure it doesn't stick on the bottom. You cannot have that done.
so hence you've put in butter first and then
Yes.
you've fried a little bit of onion.
Yes, yes.
And now you're frying the rice.
Lower a little bit.
Hello. Medium?
No. In between medium and high.
Medium high?
Yeah.
Moderate high?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that hand's really worked, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I'm very encouraged because clearly Claude is doing things by look and feel, which is how I like to cook.
Oh yes, I mean that's the best way of cooking.
You just.
Oh, if you
just
don't feel it, you can do nothing.
You
Yes.
know, you just and you get to that. You know, yeah, this is right.
And you can explain the recipe to anybody, but they have to have their own feelings.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well said.
Definitely, and that feeling, that really warm love, and everything actually shows out in that food. At the end of it.
But you can teach the recipe, but you cannot teach the feeling.
No,
That's
definitely.
high enough?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That is our vegetable
Yeah.
broth. That's so,
So-
now for convenience, you can use a ready-made one, but you're welcome to do your broth from scratch too. There's no hard and fast rules.
No,
I think it's about time.
shortcuts are
What do you
okay.
think?
I think so. Do you
Okay,
think
now
it's
I
like
add
that?
the white wine.
White wine, so like
Beautiful.
half a cup of white wine.
And you stir until the wine is resolved. That's right.
All dissolved in there, absorbed by the rice.
Absorbed.
Absorbed by the
Absorbed.
rice.
The arboreal
After so many years, I'm
absorption.
still looking for the right word.
So once that gets absorbed, then you'll be adding a ladle at a time,
Yes.
right? So that
1 or 2 ladles, and then the vegetable, and then you keep going until the rice is ready.
and one can add just about any vegetable one
Oh,
wants
any
to.
vegetable you want. I have broccoli, carrots, and mushroom. I cook already the carrots and the mushroom because it will take forever to do that. And the broccoli I did not. I just use them that way.
Yes, because nice to have some crunch also.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think
Texture.
the wine is gone.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Okay. So in the meantime, Brenda will get her acorn squash
Yeah.
stuffing going.
So just very quickly, the meal in a tradition in Italy would start with an antipasti, which is the caprese, primi, which is the pasta dish, which Claude is doing, and a secondi, which is usually a meat or a fish, but I'm doing it vegan,
Okay.
and which is fine too. And then dessert, of course. So I call this the nutty pear acorn squash, and it's the nutty pear, P-A-I-R, in honor of my husband and me. Because that's how the name came with this invention. So the first thing you do, because cooking can be therapeutic, is I want to chop up the nuts. Now I could use a knife, but you can also just like whack it.
Use a mallet and go for it.
And you know, they cut me off in traffic. I think I got ripped off at Whole Foods on my tomatoes. And you just don't want it powdery, but that's a nice
You can
crunch.
try and do your little voice training.
You can you could do opera if you wanted. Now, one of the things I like to have handy with this kind of cooking is a garbage bowl.
Yes, I know you always do that.
I always do that because just the idea of putting your hands in the garbage and then coming back out to cook, it can be difficult. So, to start, I'm very gently going to start the acorn squash stuffing while I prepare the acorn squash. And so what Hamsha knows, Claude, that I never measure anything, but I'm trying to eyeball it. So this is about 1/4 cup of vegan butter. And I like it, and again, if you like regular butter, if you want to go just straight dairy, you can do that, but this is just a way to make the dish vegan, because it can be vegan and it can be very good.
Yes, vegan, vegetarian. Vegetarian, the only difference is you'll use butter instead of earth
Exactly.
Can I add the vegetable?
Yes, you may add
Meanwhile,
vegetables.
So-
while the butter is melting,
While the mud is melting, Claude is adding his vegetables to
Yep.
the rice. So it looks like this is almost done then.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
We just
Okay.
start.
a way to go. It's a journey to risotto. All right, so the butter is melting. Now, here's a special thing. So I like to layer, I think we talked about this, different textures and a taste. So this is cinnamon vanilla infused maple syrup. So it's going to add more texture to the taste of the stuffing.
Right, the different tastes with the
Right.
vanilla and
Now,
the,
I'm
cinnamon.
eyeballing this because it's about 1/8 of a cup of maple syrup. You don't want to overwhelm with sweetness, but you want to have just enough to make it pop.
So if somebody doesn't have infused maple syrup, they could add vanilla and cinnamon to the...
Right, or you could just use a plain maple syrup.
I'm going
Some
to add
people
some
will
salt.
use, oh, he's doing good stuff over there. Meanwhile,
Yes, he's adding salt.
he's adding salt. All right, now this is how we do the stuffing. I am adding in my cashews. Now these are maple infused cashews. Again, I'm adding a layer of flavor in the same family, and I'm eyeballing it. Here is my second nut, the pine nuts, which is very traditionally Italian. And with your kind help, let's turn that down just a bit. Thank you, Hamsha. And then here's the surprise for the protein, which I'm sure would go over well in Italy because they have inventions. You see how pretty that's looking? I am putting in
Interesting.
black beans.
But you know that the nuts and the pine nuts already have protein too, so this becomes a very high
This is a
protein.
high protein, high density meal, and it kind of offsets the sweetness to have that, that hearty flavor mixed in, and it gives it some depth of color. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit on very low
On
for a
very low?
minute,
Okay.
very, very low,
Okay.
and then I'm going to show you the surprise here on the acorn squash. Now, this is an organic acorn squash.
It's on high. You want
And while this
Yeah.
part is getting ready, I'm just making sure my oven is at
350, right?
375.
375.
375 to start, and then in this last step, it's going to bump up magic of television. Most people slice an acorn squash lengthwise, but let me show you what happens if
crosswise.
You do it crosswise.
Get a nice little circle.
You get this one a little slanty, which is okay. There's no harm, no foul.
I want to put it higher a little bit.
And then higher.
Higher, high.
Meanwhile, this is not a perfect cut, but it's okay. It's still pretty. What I'm trying to show is it has that nice daisy looking piece. And so then, very, very, very easily, I'm pulling out the seeds. What we do then is face down, you put both pieces. Now normally I would melt a little more butter or phalanx just to coat it. And I just may be able, to sneak. This is sneaking. You see me sneaking? I'm just going to coat the bottom. And this isn't for flavor as much as for color. And this may be unusual, but I also glaze the top just to give it a sheen.
I do too, actually.
Do you? And so then I put it in the oven. But through the magic of television, woohoo! After about an hour, it already comes out looking something like this. Actually, that's about a half hour. I'm going to put this other one in. So, for 30 minutes, you've got your squash in. You've got this beautiful color going. It's golden on the inside. See how pretty that looks? And then,
So you put 2 squashes there, right?
yeah, one for each person.
Ah, nice.
Yep, I showed you with one. And then you just simply take the stuffing, and in it goes.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that pretty?
Yes, and if you have some cranberries, you can too, if you're putting some red in it.
You can put red in it. You can serve it with pomegranate,
Which you're going to be doing, right?
which I'm going to be doing in a little bit. But so once you get this in, the last step, and it's because it's a deep squash, it's also because you want things to roast gently. I'm going to let it go for another 20 minutes or
You
so.
want to take off that before you put it in the oven?
Take off what? Ugh, it'll be fine. And I'm going
Okay.
to let that cook there. And that gives me time while that's in the oven to make the caprese and melt the chocolate. But meanwhile, back at the risotto, right?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
I'm
Yes,
still
and he's
stirring.
Still stirring. and
Still
he's
stirring it.
He's putting more.
He's still stirring.
Well, you have to make sure it's not sticking, and then we
Right.
have problems.
He's
You're
got-
cooking it on quite high, I know.
Yes, yes, yes. I always cook high. There's no need to go slow, and you don't get. As long as you control the,
Yes,
the bottom.
you have it under control, that's
yeah,
for sure.
that's the thing.
Okay, so a caprese salad is super, super, super easy to make. The reason why I like it is that it's the kind of dish that's simple and pretty, and it has the Valentine-y kind of feeling. Thank you, Hamsha. So, all that's involved here, the trick, and these are all rinsed and washed, is to get a tomato that is very similar. I'm going to see if I have this little spoon. Oh, I can do this. It's very similar in size, right?
Ah,
To
Yes.
the mozzarella, you decide, because then it's an easy fit. I like things pretty. Some people might save the tops and chop them and do things like that. But Claude, you probably do things maybe a little differently
No.
in the restaurant business, but I feel like if it doesn't look pretty, don't serve it,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm plating it, and it also, at the end, is going to get a smidge of the basil and some pomegranate. If it's for 2 people, I might do, 2 or 4 a piece. It really depends about.
and who's your guest?
who's your guest
You.
and how much they like the
You.
cheese.
You are my guest.
So this, of course, is not a vegan version of a caprese,
But one can make one own vegan
but
cheese.
you can
and
do
it's-
whatever you like.
And you actually
Exactly.
can buy them now.
Yes, there's some really
Vegan
nice
mozzarella.
options. So, and then just to show, I'm going to do a little at a time while we look at the risotto. What I like to do, of course, it's washed basil leaves, is I do a medium chop. Some people dice. What do you do?
We passed the time already?
No.
No? Okay.
No, some people dice, right, Claude? But
What?
on basil, but I like to make it kind of stringy so it's pretty. You know, it looks a little confetti-esque,
That's cilantro
right?
Cilantro.
and basil.
So this is how he does the basil.
Oh, see, so you have options on basil. He does a fine chop,
Yeah, because
and
of,
that fits with the rice.
Yes.
yeah, it depends what you do. You sometimes you leave the leaves together,
Yes.
like you
Right,
do.
yeah.
Whereas something like this
Yeah,
might need a little more color. This is kind of a gentle, you know, tomato, mozzarella. This is a softer cheese. There's some tartness to pomegranate seed, which you can
Not foul, not
sprinkle
foul.
on. And there, a very good lady brought us this very elegant pomegranate, beautiful, elegant pomegranate
Sauce.
balsamic sauce.
Oh dear.
It mixed.
There you go.
Oh, beauty.
What is it?
It's a pomegranate sauce.
And so, just a drizzle.
Oh, that's thick.
You could also, and I'll do some, use a balsamic.
Balsamic.
So I'm going to do some with this glaze and some with the balsamic, and
Is
that
there
will be
balsamic
lovely.
inside then?
No.
We also have a balsamic
Oh,
here. So we can do another set. Very
Instead of
easy,
the-
very quick
Instead of the balsamic, it's got
with the
pomegranate.
balsamic. Yep. So again, chop, chop. Very simple. And what I'm trying to point out here, right, Claude, as we're doing this, it seems like an intense meal, but, you know, oh my goodness, we're doing 4 things, and it's Valentine's, and it's busy. But if you think about it, you've got a gentle stir on the rice. The acorn squash is cooking itself, right? It's relaxing in the oven. This is a really easy,
and while you relax, you have a glass of wine.
while you have another glass of wine.
That makes 2, but
And this is, thank you, a really, look, the little hats, the little hats. This isn't that hard to get ready. And the other part of this that is very nice, and I'm going to just put a little bit of the balsamic on this. Whoop. My able-bodied muscle woman over here is going to.
I guess
help
if
with
it's
that.
open, it'll work.
If it opens, it works. Exactly. Beauty.
You can see we use fresh stuff in this.
Very
show.
fresh. We're very fresh in it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that pour on this side, which is a little more traditional. But as you can see, I can fill the plate. I can spend my time doing that. Very nice, easy appetizers. We are going to have a chocolate dipped fondue,
go. Oh, excellent.
right?
Yeah.
For our,
Put it off in that plate or this plate?
that's fine. That can go there. And in keeping with our vegan portion of this program, ha ha ha, I like to melt my chocolate. I know a lot of people do it with water. I just do a little bit of butter in there to get the bottom of the pot wet.
Again, you're doing earth balance. You're making this a vegan one too.
I'm making this vegan. Why? Because if a dish can go vegan, whoop, that's way too high. Low, 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 swing low. Why not? Right? Why
Yes.
not? This is coconut dark chocolate.
Oh, you want a coconut dark chocolate too.
So
Yummy.
this automatically is going to add some texture to your melt. Now, I'm showing this too, gluten-free, which is one of my requirements, fair trade and vegan. There's no milk in this chocolate. So that's another reason why I can enrich it by adding a little bit of butter to give it that smoothness because it doesn't have the dairy.
So now I consider that I think I'm not thinking, the rice is ready.
The rice is definitely ready,
Yeah,
right?
so I'm going to add the herbs like cilantro,
That's interesting, adding cilantro.
cilantro, and you can add any herb you want, and basil.
Look at that. Can you smell that?
It's gorgeous.
Smell is really something else.
Well, Master Chef, Claude Michel.
It's not my risk. And then heavy cream.
Can we
2 or
start
3.
up? Can we start up a restaurant again?
Oh, no, 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 please. Yeah, with you if you want. 2 or 3. 1, 2, 3
Love it.
spoons.
That's my favorite way to measure, Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Can
And half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Okay? And that's
so
all the
here we got the
ingredients.
vegetarian parmesan, but you can
Yeah.
always get the vegan one too.
And now you put salt and pepper as much as you need. So I'm going to add a little bit more salt and some pepper, and it's ready.
Beauty.
Now that technology.
This is
Other
the
side.
other side. This one at the bottom.
Oh God.
I know. There you
No.
go. I know it's tricky.
That's pepper.
You can
and the
tell
other
we
side
like
is salt.
salt more than
I-
pepper in our house. You notice the salt
Yes.
side is kind of low.
You have to have some pepper.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you
Yep.
definitely do.
Okay, here it is.
There it is.
Ready to
our-
go.
Ready to eat.
Okay.
Ready to-
So
And then there's our
final
acorn
steps
squash.
on here on the acorn squash. So
Oh,
here's how it comes out of the oven. More golden. This has had a chance to brown. You've got a couple of options. Now, if you're a nut like me, you can do this in advance. I took some of that original mixture of the maple and the butter and poured it into a mold and let it chill.
Right.
And I could do that in the morning. It's easy. It's not a problem. So one option, I'm just going to squeeze this out. Let's see.
oh, here's my pepper.
Is there a spoon over there I may use, please?
Teaspoon.
Teaspoon.
There you go.
Yummy.
Or a knife.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I like having them chilled, but you can put these just cute little heart-shaped hearts. Yeah, I think they needed to stay chilled a little longer in the freezer.
It's because of the maple syrup that's.
It goes right back. But I'm just topping it with a little bit of that sweetness.
You put one more there.
Well, because option 2
Ah.
is if you're saying it's too sweet. You know, you've got these sweet
Yes.
flavors here. This is not sour cream. You know what this is? Vegetarian, plain,
The cream cheese.
Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt.
Because it has a sour cream taste without it being sour cream, and it has more protein.
Yes, it
Right?
does. Yes.
So there's that. So that's your option on the plating there.
Okay, and then that was for your mozzarella, right?
So we have the beautiful mozzarella plate. I could fill this plate, or if I'm only having a few, I could put it on this and tighten it up, which I think I may do. We never know when the risotto's ready, so I could have been chopping tomatoes with this for a while. So I'm going to just sprinkle that up. But see, that's a pretty plate with our 6. 3 of each kind. And just put a little more pomegranate on it. And then finally, I have a couple of options with the chocolate. So what we're doing here is you can see that chocolate's beautiful, has a nice density and pour to it. And Hamsha is rescuing the fondue pot from our serving table. Very pretty pot here, easy. And I'm going to do one in advance so you can see what's going to happen. I'm pouring the chocolate in the pot. You notice that we left it on low on the range for quite a while and it's still liquidy. It's not a problem. See how pretty that is? And glistening. And we're so excited the counter's moving because it's such good chocolate. It's like, whoa, this is good. All right, that's enough for right now. So people are used to chocolate dipped strawberries. It's kind of done. It's all there. I'm sure it's delicious, but you're gonna be my taste tester.
Who, me?
Well, if you like,
No,
you could.
I don't eat chocolate, sorry.
Oh,
Oh, I love chocolate.
Claude, here you go.
Delicious.
So you have the tartness of the raspberries and the dark chocolate with a little coconut in it, and it's fun. And it's unexpected. If you have a traditional, like if my husband was here, he'd be afraid of the raspberries.
Oh, okay. So
'Cause
he
it's-
needs
so he needs the traditional milder strawberry. But I find the tartness
yeah.
of
Just
the
add the
raspberry
strawberry and go
complements
well
the
with it,
sweetness
yeah.
of the chocolate. Yep. Okay, so we'll make that pretty at the table.
So this is our completed dish, our risotto, our baked acorn squash, Caprese salad, and fondue.
And fondue.
So we will take this to the table.
Yep. So in a Hamsha, traditionally, we would have a very leisurely beginning with the Caprese salad.
So shall I serve it on a little side plate
I love
there?
that kind of salad because it's always ended up with the color of the Italian flag.
Oh, right. So we have the Italian flag
I wonder if
right
that's the
there.
reason they did it.
Oh,
Cheers.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy
The
Valentine's.
whole month of February.
And love is in the air.
Love
Yeah,
it.
that's good.
Definitely
See how
here.
this worked out.
That's going to be
Simple,
yummy.
simple, simple. Simple.
simple, but always good.
Always good. And then I'm going for the risotto right away.
Oh, you are.
Oh, that
Oh my
smell was unbelievable.
What?
This is amazing.
No, it's
This
only,
is like the best risotto I've had. You should have a restaurant.
I'm going to start one right here, Claude.
What a thought.
So what do you think of my stuffing?
I haven't tried it yet.
Okay. I want a professional opinion.
I can tell you, it must taste, just looking at the flavor.
That's excellent. Very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love the nuts too.
Yeah?
That's very, very good.
Thank you.
I never thought of doing that.
Really?
No, no.
And then for dessert, sweetheart, I brought some strawberries because I know you're not a raspberry fan.
So I'm going to pass it around, you guys, to pick as you like.
Right. But I'm just going to dunk.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Claude. Thank you, Brenda.
A pleasure.
Yeah,
It
welcome.
was such a lovely morning,
And thank
such a
you,
lovely
Hamza.
day, having a beautiful meal like this prepared.
Do you help? Something?
Here's to the hostess.
Tell
Yeah,
Hamsha.
to the
Thank you. Cheers.